just woke up and it's 12 in the afternoon, but to me it's like 9 a.m. So, you know, I don't keep track of time anymore with everything going on. I wanted to do this video as kind of like a get ready with me type of like see how I live my life for a day with everything going on. Typically in the morning though, when I do wake up, I'll probably like sit on my phone for like the first half an hour, and that is like one of the worst habits, and I know a lot of us do it, but it's like I always leave my phone in my bed to charge. So like as soon as I wake up in the morning, like the first thing I do is like I'll check my text messages, I'll check my notifications, I'll check Instagram, just to see what I missed while I was sleeping. And then I'll get up, typically make my bed, and then I'll definitely go make myself some coffee because I'm not a morning person. So I'm gonna go ahead and do those things, and then we'll move on to everything else. First and foremost, before we do anything, I am going to wash my hands because that is important. Also going to brush my teeth. Even though I'm going to drink coffee, it's still just a pet peeve to have morning breath. And before we get into any coffee of any sort, I'm actually going to go ahead and wash my face. That way I can just help myself wake up a little bit more before the coffee, and I can let my skincare soak in before I apply all my makeup. So I know before this I kind of did a pan over of all my skincare setup. I've only changed a few things within my routine. I also added a toner, as you guys can see I'm applying right now. The one I'm using is from Exuviance. It is phenomenal, especially if you're someone who has dry skin. I also added an extra serum into my step. This one is from Bare Minerals, especially for someone who likes more clean ingredients or you're a vegan freak, and I mean that in a good way. And this is definitely a product for you. It just helps hydrate your skin a little bit more, helps minimize texture and pores. And of course, you guys know me, I am a trusty Lancome girl. So right now I'm just applying my eye serums and eye creams because you know I don't fucking sleep all night long, so you know I gotta hydrate under the eye and make sure I look somewhat awake. Next thing I'm going to do is add my moisturizer. This is a new moisturizer that I've been trying out, but I've seen a lot of really good recommendations for this guy. And again, especially if you are on the dry side like me, this is going to be your best friend. So you guys, this is my updated skincare routine. The lighting in the bathroom is terrible, but I'm also ugly, so you know, it's a mixture of both. It doesn't really help. But yeah, so that's kind of my updated skincare routine. The only thing I changed was my day moisturizer, my night moisturizer, and then I added a different serum. But other than that, everything else that I was using, I'm still consistently using. Those are just some of my favorite skincare products that I like refuse to give up. So that's just because you know, I know a lot of you guys wanted to see that, so here it is for you guys. So while I go ahead and let my skincare soak into my face, I'm gonna go ahead and make myself a cup of coffee. Typically I'll drink it iced, especially like when I go to Starbucks and things like that, but obviously with everything going on, I'm not making my regular trip to Starbucks right now, so I'm just kind of doing it myself at home, so I still, you know, feel somewhat normal. Yeah, I'll show you guys kind of just how I do that, and then we'll move on to my makeup routine. Okay, so as I mentioned, you guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and put a bunch of ice in my tumbler, just because one, I'm gonna pour a bunch of hot coffee over it, most of it's gonna get melted, but two, I like that shit hella cold. I'm also gonna add some Coffee Mate creamer. I actually mixed this with the nutmeg one as well, but since I had half and half in the bottle, I just ended up like mixing them in one container. I was also really excited to find out that it is gluten-free and dairy-free, so, you know, go that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour everything together. Yes, I'm a psychopath who likes more creamer than I like coffee, but you know, you get it. It's whatever. Okay, so I've got my coffee. If you can see little like Easter decorations in the background, my mom didn't want me to get her in the background too much, but if you guys can see it, my mom typically decorates for a heavy holiday, and it totally sucks right now because like this year, we're obviously with everything going on, we can't really celebrate it, but she still decorated, so I do appreciate the effort. That, and then I feel like I've posted it on my story a lot for you guys. But my dad's been into this thing where whatever holiday it is, even if it's not a holiday, he's putting lights all around the house. And I know I've definitely mentioned, like, obviously for Christmas, he does it for Thanksgiving, he did it for Halloween last year. He even has some up for Easter, and he puts them up for Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day. So if you can't tell already, we're definitely some people who get in the spirit. So with that being said, I'm gonna go do my makeup now. So of course your girl had to start rocking out as soon as she does her makeup, and I know it looks really funny right now, but believe it or not, most of the time when I'm not filming my videos, this is how I'm sitting when I'm just doing my everyday makeup. I find it a lot more comfortable and just really chill and easygoing, and that way I'm not like worrying myself or stressing myself out. Like I feel like when I sit at like a vanity, like I need to like everything has to be perfect, and where this I'm just kind of like going with the flow and do my makeup. As far as my everyday makeup goes, I do keep it pretty simple. Of course, as far as the foundation goes, your girls will never not love a full coverage makeup and a good pair of eyelashes, but other than that, very simple, very chillin'. Okay, so now pretty much this is my like go-to beat for the day. I know a lot of the times on social media, like I typically have my hair done or it's in a ponytail. To be honest with you guys though, like 99% of the time my hair is in some type of bun, whether it's a low bun, whether it's a high bun, whatever. I fucking hate my hair in my face, which is weird because I want to grow my hair out. Like if so a long time ago, like I used to have my hair like past my butt, like it was super super long, and then like right before high school graduation I was just like, you know, fuck it, new woman, new me, so I just chopped all my fucking hair off. Then I wanted to grow it back, and then I ended up bleaching it, and then I had to chop it all off because all my hair fell out. So if you were around at that time period where my hair was like right under my ear short, yeah, that was not a good time. We don't need to get into that story. But yeah, anyway, it's weird because like I want long hair and I want my hair to grow and be long, but I don't want it any near my face, and I refuse to shave my head. So that's where we're at. So with that being said, let's go to the next room, to my kitchen, so we can start the baking process. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna be making my lemon bars for you guys today. I've posted this a few times on my Instagram story, just showing you guys like the aftermath of it, but not really showing you guys the in-between. So for today's, I was gonna say for today's look, for today's kind of baking tutorial, you guys are gonna need some lemons. I would say about 4 or 5 large lemons. I'm lucky enough to have some growing in my backyard, but if you guys feel safe enough to go to the store right now, definitely 4 to 5 lemons that way, because we're gonna use them for the zest as well as to use the lemon juice from the lemons. You're also gonna need some vanilla, some sugar, flour, 5 eggs, 2 sticks of butter. Technically need a cup of butter, and you want it to be room temperature, but 2 sticks are half each, so 1 cup altogether. And then you can mix it by hand. It is going to be a pain in the ass, but I'm going to be using my KitchenMaid today to do all that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty, you guys, so as I mentioned before, you guys are going to need a cup of butter. Typically 2 sticks are half each, so 2 together, that's 1 cup for you. And you want to make sure they're room temperature, that way it's a little bit easier on the mixer, and it's not going to take forever. The next thing that you guys are going to need to add is 2 cups of flour. If you are someone who has allergies or doesn't use gluten, you can definitely use an alternative as well. And then next thing you're going to add is your 2 tablespoons of vanilla. This part is optional. I just prefer my crust tasting a little bit more like a sugar cookie. And then I also forgot to mention this to you guys, but you are going to need some powdered sugar. And for this, I'm just adding half a cup to the batter, and then I'm going to go ahead and mix it. When you guys are done, your guys' crust should look something like this, and you want to go ahead and take off the top piece, and then just go ahead and take a spatula and make sure you scoop all of the dough slash crust off, so that way you can really have enough to pack into the pan. You can use your spatula if you want to press the crust into the pan, or you can use your hands, but you definitely want to make sure you spray it before, that way it definitely doesn't stick, because that's the last thing you want, is to make an amazing dessert and then you can't get it out of the pan. Something I did forget to mention to you guys is you guys are going to want to go ahead and heat your oven to 350, and you want to leave that at 350 for both the crust and for the filling. For the crust, you're going to go ahead and put that guy in for about 12 minutes, and then you want to set it aside once you guys are done, so that way it can cool down before you pour the filling on top. That way they don't get melted into one another. So once you go ahead and clean your bowl out, you're going to start moving on to the filling. First thing I'm going to do is start zesting the lemons, which you want to make sure you guys wash off your lemons before, that way you're not getting any bacteria, or especially if you do have a lemon tree outside, you do not want any dirt in your lemon bars. That is not going to taste good. So with this, typically I'll take about 2 of the lemons. As far as like the zest goes, it's more of like a preference of how much you guys are going to want in your guys' dessert. So once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and chop up the lemons, and you want to make sure you get all the seeds out, because that's another thing you guys do not want into your dessert, is you don't want to take a bite and you crunch down on a seed. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop all those out, and then I'm just going to go ahead and take a cup and start squeezing all the lemons. Once it's filled to the top, I'll go ahead and pour it into my bowl. Okay guys, moving on, you guys are going to go ahead and add 5 eggs. You can add 6 if you would like. It's just going to depend on how you want the consistency of your filling. If you do want it a little bit more thicker, go ahead and add 5, but if you want more of like that gooey, almost like a meringue pie filling, go ahead and add 6. Okay, moving on to the next step, you guys are going to go ahead and add 3 cups of sugar to this, and yes, 3. I know that seems like a lot, but you want to make sure these don't taste super bitter. Unless that is what you're going for, then you can go ahead and just add 2 or 2.5. And last but not least, you guys are going to go ahead and add 1 cup of flour, and then once you guys are completely done with that, you're just going to go ahead and mix everything together until it is perfectly blended. Alrighty, you guys, now that everything looks smooth, I'm gonna go ahead and just pour the filling right on top of the crust. And like I said before, you guys want to make sure it's completely cooled down all the way, so that way it doesn't melt into one another. And you also want to make sure that everything is even across, just because you don't want any sides that are a little bit thicker than the other. That way it just bakes out a little bit more evenly. And like I mentioned, for the crust, you want to make sure your oven is still at 350, and you're going to go ahead and pop that bad boy in and leave it in for about 15 minutes. If you guys are using a pan that's like a 13 by 9, then I would say you can cut that time in half and only do it for like 30 minutes, 35. Just depends on how you like the consistency.
Season 1, then start season 2, and season 2 is fire. Plus, I need to watch season 4, but I'm waiting to watch the rest of season 4 because you're tech.
Last but not least, once you guys are done, go ahead and take that bad boy out the oven. And yes, the top of it should look like this. It just depends on how long you leave it in. You can even leave it in for 45 minutes if you would like. But me and my family, we like the edges a little burnt. And then you're going to go ahead and just finish with powdered sugar and pretty much that's it for you guys. Obviously, let it cool down before you enjoy, but enjoy. So typically whenever I get done with like any activities that I have for the day, whether it be like filming a video for you guys or posting on the gram or whatever it is, baking, because that's really it for me to do and what's going on. I'm not really going and visiting any friends. If anything, I've just been FaceTiming everybody. But typically once I'm done with that, I'll either search the internet for like clothes that I don't need, or I end up spending my time just watching a lot of movies, whether it be like Netflix or Disney Plus. I know they just put a few new movies on there. I know they put that movie Onward. If you guys have not watched that movie yet, it is super cute. Watch it. You might cry at the end, but I feel like that's with every Disney movie. They're just like, let's get you in your feels. So you have that to look forward to. As far as Netflix go, I have this bad habit of just re-watching things that I've already watched like 20 times. Like Gossip Girl, I've watched the whole season all the way through 3 times. I need a new hobby. And if you're someone who hasn't watched Gossip Girl, I hate to sound like so like a girly cliche, but it's a great show and you need to watch it. That, Dynasty, I'll actually, if you guys like to, I can list in the description bar, I'll list like some of my favorite series that I've watched, movies, shows, you name it. That way, if you guys are like running out of options during the time right now, I got you. I have this problem where like, especially when it comes to like thinking of videos for you guys, like I'll have an idea, but then like I'm so worried about like, oh my god, they're gonna hate it and nobody's gonna like it, and what if I don't like it, or da 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 da. Like I just like run into these problems, so then I just like I feel stuck, and then like my anxiety like heightens like a motherfucker, because then I'm like, bitch, just put out fucking content, like it's okay. And so like I'll ask, that's why like I'm so like specific on asking you guys like what you guys really want to see, because like I said, at the end of the day, this is my channel and I do want to put things on there that like I love and things that I've loved pursuing, but at the same time, like you guys are what make this happen. I just want to be able to put stuff out there that's gonna make you guys happy just as well. So like I said, I did ask in the polls. I asked about like a lookbook video and baking, skincare. I asked about like makeup tutorials and things like that. And one video that was also really highly requested was a like my favorite drugstore haul makeup. So I actually, a few things I have here that I will be using in that video, and then I also like dropped a bunch of money last night ordering like a bunch of my favorite drugstore products on Ulta website, so go me. So yeah, I don't really want to bore you guys with anything else because I feel like I'm be bored already, but this is just essentially kind of like what I do for the day. I typically have like my nighttime routine, but like I'll take off my makeup, nothing crazy that goes on with that. I'll take a shower, all that good stuff. But yeah, I just keep it pretty chill with everything going on right now. I really hope that, you know, things can get better for all of us and everybody's doing their part, and what they need to do is just staying inside and really taking care of themselves, because that's what's most important right now. Is like really, I know it's really hard too, because I know a lot of people with stuck being inside and not really having a lot to do, you know, our anxiety and our mental health starts to, you know, weaken a little bit. So with that, I just say, you know, like I really hope you guys are finding outlets with everything going on right now, and I hope you guys are just really keeping your head up and staying positive. And my DMs are always open on Instagram. That is one thing that I have always made known, that you guys can talk to me about whatever, whenever. You guys, especially those who know me or have gotten to know me, I am an open book. You can ask me, you can tell me anything. I'm never going to judge you. I'm never going to shun you away. Like I know what it's like to be alone, and I know what it's like to be by myself and not really have anybody at times. So I just definitely, if I could be that for somebody, that's means the world to me. So yeah, I just want all of us to stick together and kick this thing's ass and go team. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much. You guys mean the absolute world to me, and none of this would be possible without you guys. So yeah, you know me, I don't want to ramble. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video.